Everyone, this is my e-portfolio for Lab 3 entitled Search and Rescue. The goal of this lab was to simulate a search and rescue. This is essentially done by generating a target and having a ball freely move and bounce around the screen until it finds or hits the target. Coding portion of this lab consisted of a pre-made user interface which holds the frame responsible for the search area. We were asked to modify the code in such a way to properly operate the search by making the ball bounce off the borders of the frame and actually acknowledge when the ball hits the target. The functions relating to the ball bouncing off the edges of the frame and the acknowledgement that it has found the target were all done through JavaScript. Firstly, in order to make the ball bounce properly off the frame, we needed to implement the correct JavaScript functions for the borders. Next, in order to acknowledge that the target has been found, we needed to encode the found function. This is my JavaScript code. We were asked to implement two labels which track the distance of the ball from the target as well as the elapsed time. These labels needed to display the number in a custom violet color composed of RGB components. Interestingly enough, this was all done using HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. The HTML was used to create the labels, then the CSS code was used to customize and style the labels, whereas the JavaScript was used to actually implement the distance from the ball to the target as well as the current elapsed time. Furthermore, the functions responsible for calculating the distance and time were initialized with the JavaScript class of math.floor. A crucial part of this lab was discovering how to use the math.floor class. This implementation was responsible for updating the elapsed time, the distance, as well as the toTarget function and the found function. This is a run of the completed search and rescue program in 5 millisecond update speed. This is a run of the search and rescue program with the commented out clear implementation. The clear implementation was responsible for maintaining the constant shape of the ball. Without the clear implementation, the program would not clear the previously drawn ball, and the result is a constantly growing snake of generated ball shapes. One thing I found particularly challenging within this lab is figuring out how to use the math class, particularly the math.floor implementation, which was used in a majority of the operating parts of this lab.